Hello, yogis. Welcome to an all levels flow class. I am Jolynn, and Cyndy is my lovely model this evening. I'd like to share a little reading from Myths of the Asanas, the stories at the heart of the yoga tradition, as we begin this practice. And it's called Finding the Right Effort. In Dhanurasana, the challenge is to find the right amount of tension in the pose. On a real bow, if the tension on the string is too great, it will break. And if there isn't enough tension, the string will not have enough force to launch the arrow. The same principle applies for stringed instruments. To get the right tone, a musician must put the string under the right amount of tension. Finding our balance under just enough intensity or bodily stress in a pose is one of the key challenges in our practice. This principle may also be applied to situations in our daily lives. The question is, how do we determine the right amount of effort when we're in challenging situations? So today we'll be playing a little bit with bow pose and working our way towards that. It's a belly down back bend, but of course we have a lot of practice before that. So we'll begin in Tadasana today at the top of the mat. Feet hip width and parallel. Let your knees softly bend, lift and spread your toes, feel grounded through the corners of your feet. Reach your arms all the way up to the sky, take a breath and float your hands to your heart. And do that again. Inhale, stretch your arms wide and up, hands to heart center. This time float your arms wide and up, slowly bend your knees, coming into a chair pose. Float your elbows onto your thighs, and take a few rounds of cat and cow from here. Curl your spine and open and lift your heart. So starting to activate legs and core and finding some fluidity through the spine. Take one more round of cat and cow. Find neutral spine, root down, rise all the way up, stretch out. Bring your hands to heart center. Sweep your arms all the way up, steeple your fingers, taking a little crescent moon bend to the right. Anchor into your left foot and stretch out of your left ribs. Bring it back to center and bend to the left. Take a long breath in and out and return yourself to center. Slowly as you can go, find a forward fold. Go nice and slow. Keep your knees soft. Pay attention to your hamstrings and your low back. And stay with your breath. You can bring your fingertips to blocks or to the earth. And allow your head to be heavy. With your in-breath, lift to a flat back. And with your exhale, let it go, maybe deepening the pose in some small way. Inhale, lift to a flat back, and exhale to let go. Step yourself back to a downward facing dog. Hands to the mat, feet to the back of the mat. Lift your seat, let your ears come right between your arms, bend and stretch your legs, and let go of the day. Begin to bend deeply into your right knee, lengthen back through your left heel and peek under your left arm. And do that on the other side. Bend deeply left knee, peek under your right arm. And take that one more time on each side. Take your time. Come to some symmetry now, stretching back through your heels, keeping your knees soft, float into plank pose. Come down knees, chest and chin, or chaturanga to your belly. Hands underneath your chest. We'll find some cobra rolls. Keeping your hands under your chest, inhale, rise, lift from the back of the heart. And exhale, return your forehead to the earth. A few more times here, just starting to open up the upper back and upper chest. And one more time, rolling through that simple cobra pose. Coming down to the earth, curl your toes, lift your seat, downward facing dog. Come down into table pose. Settle your knees under your hips, your hands under your shoulders. Extend back through your right leg and forward with your left arm. Turn your thumb up, engage your core. Take a breath in here. One curl in, elbow and knee join. Big exhale. Inhale and extend. Pause here, bend your right knee. Pause. Lift as if you could kick your foot to the sky. Maybe turn your left thumb down and reach back. Maybe you can reach your heel or your ankle, or maybe just reach back. Find that resistance between your foot and your hand, your shoulder and your hip. Take another breath here. What is that just right effort? Extend your limbs fully and set your hand and your knee back on the earth, table. Extend back through the sole of your left foot and forward with your right hand. Turn your thumb up, find your balance, find your core. One big curl in, elbow meets the knee. Inhale and extend long. Pause here, bend your left knee. Kick the sole of your foot up, turn your right thumb down and reach back. Maybe to grab your heel or your foot, maybe to reach back. Again, find that level of resistance that makes the most sense for you. Keep that right shoulder soft, your jaw soft. Take one more breath and extend everything long. Return your hand and your knee to the earth, child's pose. Tuck in. Options for your arms include placing your hands behind your heart or next to your heels, or keeping them extended forward. Take one more conscious breath in and out. Extend your hands forward and your hips high, downward facing dog. Take your right leg long this time, three-legged dog. Maybe stack your hips, bend, twist, and open, peeking underneath your right arm or keeping your chest square to the mat. Extend your legs, square your hips, and step through to high lunge, keeping that left knee lifted. Rise up, sweep your arms all the way up, and find balance. Find a focal point ahead of you. Bring fists to hips and bend into your left knee. Extend your leg, extend your arms. Exhale, fists to hips, bend your knee. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fists to hips. Extend your leg and your arms, high lunge. Take the twist of your choice. This can be an open twist, left hand forward, right hand back. Maybe left hand to the floor, right hand to the sky. Or perhaps a prayer twist is the best option for you. Engage your legs, hug right hip in, muscle to bone. Deep breaths, full exhalations. One more deep breath in. And as you exhale, cartwheel your hands down, step to plank. Make your way through a flow or simply return to downward facing dog. Extend your left leg, three-legged dog. Option to bend, twist, and open. Stay connected to the ball of that right foot, a softness to your right knee and to your core. Extend your legs, square your hips, curl in and step through to high lunge. Find your balance, find your focal point, and raise your arms to the sky. Take a breath. Bend your knee and bring fists to hips. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Extend into your lunge once again. Take the twist that chooses you. Right hand forward, left hand back, or hand to the floor in the sky, or maybe a prayer twist, crossing your elbow over your thigh. Keep hugging left hip in towards center and extend back through your right heel. Take one more long breath in and out. Take your gaze to the earth, your hands to the earth. Step back, plank pose. Again, invitation to vinyasa or to skip it. And meet me in dog pose. Extend right leg, three-legged dog. This time step through to warrior two. Let your right toes look up to the top of your mat. Your back heel touches the earth, parallel to the back edge of your mat. Open your arms nice and wide. Turn your palms to face the long edge of your mat. Take a breath and sweep that back hand forward to tap the front hand. Peel it back as if you were an archer pulling back his bow. And as you exhale, bring that hand forward again. Peel it back, engage your core. And one more time, sweep left hand to right and peel it back. Find your reverse warrior, taking your right hand up and back. Pause here for a beat. Take another breath in and flow between reverse warrior and Parsvakonasana. Let your right hand come forward in front of that left hip. Inhale, reach up and back. And exhale, find your extended side angle. Do that one more time. Reach up and back. Flow into your Parsvakonasana. Reach up and back and find reverse triangle this time. So extend your right leg and pause right there. Let all your limbs get super long. Heart is open, body is bright. As you exhale, sweep your hand behind your shin for Trikonasana triangle pose. So you can bring your fingertips to a block under your shoulder, or you can stay here and really connect to your core. Drag your legs slightly away from the middle of your mat. Take one more breath in and out here. And with one more inhale, get bright. Exhale, come down to lunge pose, frame your foot. Pause, pop your left heel up. Take your right arm up to the sky for a twist. And as you exhale, hug your right elbow around your right thigh. Inhale, stretch your arm up. And exhale, hug around your thigh. One more time, stretch up. Hug around your thigh, pause there, and imagine you could take a cat back. So hug in, curl in, stretch from that left heel all the way up to the crown of your head. One more time, open twist. Stretch that arm up to the sky. Bring your hand to the earth, step back, plank pose. Flow through or meet me in dog. Take a breath in and sigh it out. Extend your left leg to the sky, three-legged dog. Curl in and step through to warrior two. Bring your back heel down. You can switch sides. You don't like that side to the camera, Cyndy? Come on. Open it up, warrior two. Make it nice and strong. Knee over heel, back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. This time, take your right hand forward and tap your left palm for archer. Draw that bow back. And bring your right hand forward again. Be really intentional with the movement. Peel it back. Strong core. One more time. Bring right hand to left. And peel it all the way back. Find your reverse warrior. Pause there for a full length of breath. And one more inhale. Flow between extended side angle and reverse warrior 3 times. Inhale, take it up and back. And exhale. One more time, long inhale, sweep it back. And exhale, bring it forward. Find your reverse warrior one more time and take it into reverse triangle. Stretch your left leg long. Again, get super long through your limbs, all your limbs bright and long. And tip into Trikonasana, triangle pose. Hand behind your shin or to a block. Drag your feet slightly apart as you open up from the center of your chest to the palms of your hands. Take one more breath in here. Slowly come down to high lunge. Pop that right heel up, frame your foot. Sweep your left arm up to the sky and hug that left elbow around your thigh. Curl in. 2 more of those. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale to curl. Inhale, stretch up. And exhale to curl. Pause right here, find a little cat stretch. So resist your leg, curl your spine from your right heel to the crown of your head. One more big twist, send that left arm up, neutralize your spine. Take one more breath and bring it forward, forward bend. Halfway lift on an in-breath. Exhale and let go. Root to rise, up to stand, stretch all the way up. And return your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra. Take a pause here. Soften your knees and your jaw. Connect to your breath once again. Blink your eyes open. Cyndy's going to switch sides because we're going to the right side again, but you stay right where you are. We'll come back through that flow, adding on a little bit. Inhale, stretch your arms up, wide arms to fold. Step back, plank, come back to downward facing dog. Raise your right leg, 3-legged dog. Curl in and step through, warrior 2. Open your arms, 1 time take that archer's pose. Oop, that's okay, tap forward, peel open, reverse your warrior. Flow into Parsvakonasana. Reverse your triangle, stretch that right leg long. Exhale, triangle pose, pause there. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Rise to warrior 2, bend your knee. We're spinning into lunge, so pop your left heel up, bring your fists to your hips, bend your back knee. We'll do that 3 times. Inhale, stretch up, fist to hips, bend your back knee. 1 more time, inhale. And exhale, bend. Find your lunge pose, extend your leg, extend your arms, bow slightly forward. Take a breath in here. We're stepping into baby dancer. So if you need to tap that foot up a time to get your left ankle, do that. Maybe raise your right arm for balance. Find some resistance here between, or find the wall or the floor. Find some resistance between your left hand and your ankle. You're fine.
Go ahead. Maybe not.
You're good. Stay connected to your core and to your breath. Opening up the front of those left quads and hip flexor.
No, maybe not. We're gonna use the wall.
That's why we have walls, right? We're not going anywhere from here, so you can be at the wall. Find some resistance between your hand and your foot so you're opening up the front of that left leg. Take one more full breath in and out. And slowly release your foot to the earth. Give your legs a little shimmy shake. And bring yourself back to Tadasana at the top of your mat. Inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And exhale, fold. You did it without me even telling you. Inhale, halfway lift. Let it go and step to plank. Come back to downward facing dog. Left leg rises, 3-legged dog. Take a breath. Curl in and step through, warrior 2. Spin the back heel down and rise. Palms open to the long edge of your mat. Take your right hand forward and tap the left palm. Peel it back, reverse your warrior, inhale. Flow into that extended side angle for 1 breath. Reverse your triangle, stretch your left leg long. Triangle pose, float your hand behind your shin. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. 1 more long breath here. Rise to warrior 2, bend your knee. Spin yourself to high lunge, fists to hips, bend into your back knee. Inhale, extend your limbs. Exhale, bend your knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Find your full lunge again. Extend back through your heel, extend your arms. Bow forward, tap into your core, and step into baby dancer, reaching your right hand for your right ankle. You can use a wall, you can extend your left arm for balance. Find some resistance between your hand and your foot. Goal here is to open up the front of the right thigh, the right hip flexor. Keep your knees close. Take one more breath and slowly release your foot to the earth. Tadasana, mountain pose. Inhale, reach your arms wide and up. Interlace your hands behind you. Step your feet slightly wider than your hips and bow in, forward fold. Shake your head no and yes. Let it go. Release your arms to the earth, hands to the earth. Lift up to a flat back and let it go. Step back to a plank pose. Flow through or don't. Meet me in a dog pose. Extend your right leg. We're coming towards pigeon pose. So right knee is wider than the right pinky finger. Now, if pigeon pose doesn't work for your knees or your hips, you can always come onto your back in figure 4, cross your ankle over your thigh, or maybe take a lizard pose or a swan pose as an alternative to pigeon. Balance your hips out as much as you can. So get that left hip a little heavy. The right hip is already naturally heavy. See if you can find some balance there and bow forward. Take as much effort out as you can. Let gravity take over. And soften into your breath. Keeping your forehead in your hands on the mat, begin to curl your left toes. Find a little bend and a stretch to that left knee. As little or as much as you can muster. Continuing to open the front of that left leg. Release your toes to the earth. Take 3 more breaths in your pigeon pose. Begin to slowly make your way back to your downward facing dog. Cyndy, I'm going to have you spin around too.
Yeah.
So you guys stay where you are. Cyndy's going to spin. So if you'd like to bend, twist, and open, or take a 3-legged table or dog, please do that. And we'll extend left leg for 3-legged dog. Coming into pigeon on the left side. Bring your left knee a little wider than your wrist, than your pinky. And maybe sneak back through those right toes. Squeeze your inner thighs together to find some balance in your hips, to bring a little more heaviness to the right side. And then bring yourself down towards the earth, forehead to a block, or hands to, or forehead to your hands. Get reconnected to the pacing of your breath. See if you can slow and smooth your breath out a little bit. Begin to curl your right toes. Bend and stretch your right leg long. Take your time, move with your breath, as little or as much as you have. Release your toes back to the earth. 3 more breaths in your pigeon pose. Begin to slowly make your way back to your dog pose. We'll all land in child's pose, so take your time working this side away. And then make your way back to child's pose, Balasana. Return your hands to the mat, find downward facing dog. Float forward, plank pose. Take a breath in here. Pause here, 2 more breaths. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to your belly. Forehead to the mat, hands next to your hips, palms turned down. Feel your collarbones broad, your shoulders hug the back of your heart. Back of the throat is long. Tap into your core, tap into the length of your legs. Begin to slowly lift your head, neck, and shoulders, keeping your gaze low to the floor. And begin to lift your hands and hover them. Begin to lift your toes for locust pose, Shalabhasana. Floating here on your breath, let the breath carry you like waves, rising up and floating down. One more time, breathe in and breathe yourself back to the earth. Hands underneath your chest, downward facing dog. Pedal this one out. Bend a knee, press into the opposite heel. Float yourself into plank pose once again. Pause here, 2 more breaths. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga to the earth. Bring your forehead back down to kiss the mat. Place your hands next to your hips once again. This time turn your palms to face your hips. Snuggle your shoulders blades behind the back of your heart. Feel your collarbones wide. Keeping your knees in line with your hips, begin to bend your knees. Turn your heels in a little bit closer and your toes slightly out. Hug your low belly in. Feel from your belly all the way down to your knees, complete engagement. Begin to reach back for your ankles. If you can easily reach them, that's great. And if you can't, you're going to loop a strap around the tops of your feet. Begin to curl your toes as closely as you can towards your knees, or at least point them. Hug into your middle again and lift to bow pose. Use your feet to resist your hands. Let your shoulders soften. Continue to soften your throat, keeping your gaze to the earth. Let your neck be long and free. Find that wave-like breath again, breathing in, breathing out. Take one more long breath, and on your exhale, slowly return to the earth. Let go of your feet. Perhaps bend your knees and wiper your feet. Maybe just shimmy your hips. Place your hands underneath your chest. Stretch back to a puppy pose. So keep your spine super long here. We just came from a big back bend. Walk your hands forward. Let your hips float over your knees. Keep your spine long. Begin to slide your hands under your shoulders, coming back to table. Begin to find the slowest, sweetest rounds of cat and cow that you can possibly muster. Take it really easy as you curl into the exact opposite of your bow pose. Not overdoing cat or cow, even though your natural position now should be to come into that little back bend. Take your time with both. Find a neutral spine, cross your ankles, and come down to sit. Grab your strap, and if you don't have a strap, not a huge deal. You can just bring peace fingers to the toes or walk your hands forward. If you have a blanket and you want to sit up on the blanket, that may help you go a little deeper in this wide leg forward fold, seated. So sitting up on the knife edge of a blanket, begin to extend your legs to a wide V. Imagine that you have a seam coming down the back of your legs, and you want that seam to remain on the earth so you're not rocking back onto your tailbone. If anything, you want the underside of your legs or the inner seam of your legs to come forward as you tilt forward. Wrap the strap around the balls of both feet. Find some resistance between your feet and the strap. Do your best to not curl your shoulders forward. We're trying to keep an open heart here. So find the resistance. Allow your elbows to slowly spin in towards your ribs as you lift your chest, as if you could lean back into the tiniest back bend. Keep resisting the strap with your feet. Lift your heart. Watch your collarbones widen. And stay with your breath. Keeping that resistance on the strap, begin to now curl your heart slightly forward, not collapsing into the upper back. Stretch your chest forward towards that strap. Widen your elbows like wings. Take one more breath in and out. And begin to slowly rise back up. Bring the soles, bring the inner arches of your feet towards one another, and we're coming onto our backs. So we're going to use the strap for the same work that we were just doing. So come onto your back and extend your feet to the sky as if you were in legs up the wall. And you can wrap that strap over the balls of both feet. Again, resist the strap with the balls of your feet, but keep your shoulders and your elbows on the floor. So lengthen your arms out enough on the strap that you're not holding tension through your shoulders. You can play a little bit here, a little bend, a little stretch to your knees. Begin to bend your knees and come to happy baby, but continue to use the strap. So widen yourself out a little bit. Find that resistance between the strap and your feet. Bring your knees a little bit wider than your ribs. Rather than letting your tailbone look up to the sky, see if you can turn your tailbone down towards the floor and notice the difference. Begin to loosen the grip on the strap a little bit. Bring your legs to a wide V here on the earth. Continue to press out through the soles of your feet, resisting it with the strap. With your next breath, slowly bring your feet back to legs up the wall. Slide them in and release the strap. Flex and point your feet. Notice how freeing it is to not have that strap there, to not have that resistance. Begin to draw your knees into your chest and rock a little bit from side to side in Apanasana, knees to chest pose. Extend your legs straight forward and your arms up and above your head. Take a full body stretch. Find some tension in your body and let all of that go. If there is a bend, a twist, a stretch that makes sense for you as you come to the end of your practice, please feel free to take it. If you'd like to take legs up the wall or Supta Baddha Konasana for Shavasana, today soles of the feet together, knees apart, or a traditional Shavasana with your heels reaching to the front two corners of your mat, palms turned up next to your hips, find the one that calls to you. Connect to your breath, to this moment. Take a long breath in and sigh it out. Notice where you can soften any amount more. If you have more time to spend in Shavasana today, by all means stay exactly where you are. If you're moving on with your day, begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Begin to draw your knees in towards your chest or let your head rock from side to side. Find some gentle movement, a last bend, a twist, a hug. Move yourself onto your right side and pause there. Press your hands into the mat and rise to your easy seat. Sit up tall, head over heart over hips. Draw your hands to your heart, Anjali Mudra. Close your eyes or take your gaze to the earth. We are experiencing strange days indeed, and we may often feel that we are being pulled back like the arrow in a bow. We must remember that the arrow has to be pulled back to be launched into something great. And we can only anticipate the same for ourselves. Thanks so much for sharing in this practice with Cyndy and I today. In gratitude, namaste.
Namaste.